Testing, testing. So now, having reviewed the enhanced police surveillance video of George Zimmerman entering the police station that appears to show some red blotches on the top of his head, there are individuals making arguments that that's proof that he acted in self-defense. No, that's not proof that he acted in self-defense. That's proof that he confronted young Trayvon, and young Trayvon was busting his ass as he should have done, because George Zimmerman had no authority to stop that young man, had no authority to confront that young man, and had no authority to detain that young man. George Zimmerman wasn't even acting in the capacity as neighborhood watch. According to his father, George Zimmerman was on his way back from the store. Now, having said that, you have individuals coming out on behalf of George Zimmerman trying to allege that young Trayvon was doing something wrong. Actually, it was young Trayvon who was standing his ground, who had every right to stand his ground, because he was where he was supposed to be, doing what he was supposed to be doing. He was going home while talking to his girlfriend on the cell phone. The fact that his girlfriend told him to run lets you know that young Trayvon was not a thug. He was a 17-year-old child being followed by a suspicious looking older white male. Now, we know that older white males in this society tend to prey upon young children, especially young males. So young Trayvon thought that he was about to be the victim of some type of sexual freak. So when George Zimmerman grabbed him, he had no choice but to stand his ground. Now, in doing so, George Zimmerman found himself at the hands of someone who was not about to be a willing victim. So young Trayvon was fighting, and it turned out to be fighting for his life, because George Zimmerman was a predator, and George Zimmerman was hunting. George Zimmerman found prey in young Trayvon. Don't let them fool you with that enhanced video, because if George Zimmerman's nose was broken, as has been alleged, there would have been profuse amounts of blood, and George Zimmerman would have been holding his head up and not down, because when your nose is broken, the blood flows continuously. If George Zimmerman would have been bashed up against concrete, George Zimmerman would not have been walking so robustly, unassisted, out of that police car and through that police station. He does not appear to have sustained any life-threatening injuries, but he does appear to have been smacked upside his damn head, which is what should have happened to him in the first place. Number one, he disobeyed police dispatch, who clearly told him, we don't need you to follow that young man. There's officers on the way. According to George Zimmerman's neighbor, on February 2nd, George Zimmerman called 911 and reported a burglary, and stayed back and waited until the police arrived and apprehended the alleged burglar. Now, this is according to his neighbor, who said it was his house that was being burgled. Now, why didn't George Zimmerman stay back and wait for the Stanford Police Department that night? Because George Zimmerman already had it in his mind what he was going to do. That's premeditation. Don't let him fool you. And as far as his brother's concerned, his brother hadn't even seen George Zimmerman in 5 years, it's been reported. So how does he know that George Zimmerman's head was busted and that's hearsay. He knows exactly what I know, what's come out in the news. He doesn't have any first-hand information. He's damn sure not a witness. He's just reporting what he's been told. And as far as his father's concerned, his father said that he didn't tell the police or the state's attorney that he was an ex-judge, which means that he had conversations with the police and the state's attorney prior to this interview that he gave, which means that he probably told the state's attorney and the police that he was an ex-judge, which made them treat George Zimmerman with preferential treatment. That's that cronyism. That's that old boy networkism. Probably not what should have happened. That's 2 cents from Brother Larry.